G'day, and welcome to Club Prairie Fire, the home of tequila, Tabasco, and the mighty Duckworth Lewis Stern system. Into Club today, we've got you covered for all your bat and ball needs. Cameron Green has a whale of a time in windy Wellington as the Aussies smash the Kiwis. The Poms head north for the fifth test in Dharmashala, bummed out by the big news that Boomer is back. And the mighty men from Horny Church go 3 from 4 to put the rest of the European Cricket League on notice. But let's get straight into it. I'd like to welcome our regular guests. The man whose dry sense of humour confuses a lot of the subcontinent every week. It's Michael Vaughan. The man who will soon be releasing his own line of yak scrotum loincloths, Adam Gilchrist. And the man who tonight, for the first time in his life, will officially go on a third date with the same woman. It's Ollie Silverton. Welcome, gents.
Hello.
Yeah, hi.
Good intros.
Just like good intro. The big news, Ollie. Third date. Yeah, I mean, I'm confused. The second, did we speak about the second date last week, or were you going on the second date?
No, we did. It was brief. So I did Wednesday. We did the first show. Then it was last Tuesday. It was just a quick update because there's been so much cricket of England winning in India morally. And then tonight's date 3, which I actually have approached. I mentioned it, which, as we said from date 1, was the hat handover. If it goes well, but she has come back and said no. I want it handed over by a real cricketer, Gilly or Vaughany. So I said Vaughany might be tricky, but Gilly does visit Sydney a little bit, and he's got the hats, and maybe at Bari for the handover. But she's basically rejected it. Is the point.
Well, look, I've got to jump straight in here. I've got to declare a conflict of interest in this topic. I think it must be minuted and taken in the notes that there is a mutual friend that I have with the young lady that Ollie's been dating. It's come to pass. It's been brought to my attention that a friend of mine does know the said young lady. So
she's not a bot.
I've got avenues to dig up dirt on either she or you, Ollie. So be careful. But I just thought I should declare that and say I'll sort of what do you do in boardrooms? You sort of leave the meeting and let the discussion. So I won't leave. I'll just sit here and listen, but I won't contribute to it whenever the topic comes up. But be careful.
It is. Gil, any feedback yet? Anything to report from the kind of relationship as such?
Yeah, I think without doubt that the thing that is keeping this lovely young lady interested is not so much the company of Ollie, but it is the cap. We've seen social media light up. Their desire for the caps is strong, and she has the inside running at the moment.
It's sounding like, and I don't want to cast aspersions here. It's sounding like this lady has just found a way to meet Gilly. That's what it sounds like. And so she's pretty elaborate. She's obviously got to put up with Ollie for, say, 3 to 4 dates. And then she gets to meet her favourite cricketer.
It's looking like that.
Does she talk about Gilly a lot when you're at dinner? Is it, does Gilly like potatoes?
No. Genuinely, she listened to the whole show last week and said, I wanted more airtime. She enjoys the attention of getting the shout out. So, but there's now a mutual friend with Gilly. Yeah.
Okay. Nice. Well, this is good. I like it.
This is good.
Very good.
I can't wait to have her on the podcast. What date is that?
Yeah.
You name the number. What date's that? That's a good question, actually. That's got to be double figures, doesn't it?
No. 4th date. We'll have it next week.
Yeah, I thought 4 next week would be good.
Guys, can I just bring something to your attention?
Yes.
I got sent something very special this week. It came through the post. I wasn't expecting it. I certainly didn't have any conversations about it when I was in down the Coogee. My favourite spot, Little Jack Corners. I've only been sent the shirt that the staff wear. I'm now a part of the crew. I am a part of the crew, but what you don't know is on the side of the arm, look what it's got.
Don Julio.
Don Julio on the side of the arm as well.
Oh, yeah.
Very good.
Now, you were part of the furniture for the summer, so it's only apt that you've got a crew shirt.
I'm literally now part of the crew at Little Jack Corners, so I can go. So if you want to go in there and just put it on my staff account, whatever you're going to go, just put it on my account.
Now,
Very
obviously,
good.
one day you were presented your English colours and, became the captain of England. But be honest, is this a prouder moment?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it feels like Australia has now accepted me. I feel part of the crew down at Coogee. And as I say, I think what we'll do on the pod is, anyone that goes into Little Jack Horners in the next week and just shouts out the Club Prairie Fire podcast, I think they're going to get a free drink.
Oh, I like that.
I haven't
Great
told
call.
them that. I haven't told them that yet. But Big Paul, who runs the joint, it'll be absolutely delighted. But you have to shout it at the top of your voice. The Club Prairie Fire podcast is the best in the business, and if you do that really loud, you get a free drink. I've signed that off now. I'm part of the crew.
This is great. And maybe a bit of video evidence, and then a little prize pack, a CPF prize pack will get sent out to whoever can prove to us that they did pull off that stunt and were successful in achieving that free drink. Excellent.
The other thing that's happened this way. Do you want to carry on, Prof, with the Little Jack Corner chat?
What do you got?
I went to a dinner and there was a caricature artist there, and he drew a picture of me. Here we go. I've got my pads. I've got my gun and more.
Holding up nice and close there.
Yeah, Vaughany, for those listening, he's holding up this picture of... Can you describe that for us? Who is that, Vaughany?
If you look closely, there's about 3% of me in there. I reckon there's about 54% of Mark Waugh's hair. And whatever the percentage is left is of Adam Gilchrist.
Bit of Glenn
like Gilly.
Bit of Glenn McGrath.
There.
That's an interesting love child, that one. But no, it's not me. I mean, there's not enough ink being spared on the listeners. Those ears are far too small.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
I tell you, of the names mentioned there, between myself, Glenn McGrath, Mark Waugh, and Michael Vaughan, the least it looks like is Michael Vaughan.
Yeah. It really doesn't look like me. But, I'm happy to be junior for a day.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. Not to be him.
Now, the thing I wanted to bring up with you, Vaughany, during the week, you probably have seen lots and lots of comments on our YouTube pages, on our Instagram pages. I don't know that the current Indian public is getting your sense of humour. I don't know whether there's something we can do. Maybe you and Ollie could work out something. Maybe, Ollie, you could hold up a sign when you know that your fellow countryman is joking. Because often Gilly and I are confused. Well, like we think he's being serious here. Can you think of anything, Vaughany, to help us all out?
No, I think we go along with this for a while because it's getting us a few more clicks.
I'm with Vaughany.
We need as many as possible. The Test series rolls on to Dharmashala though. That's great for England. They're not going to lose, are they? In a ground and in an area that I think it's 12 degrees. I think it might peak at around 14, and I think they've been practicing when it's been around 8 degrees. So India have got no chance this week. It'd be too cold for them.
Yeah, I think you're right. They're not going to lose this week now that the captain, Ben Stokes, has come out and said, I quote, "We want to win this week."
Yeah, that's
which
good.
is a real change in philosophy from, say, the start of the Ashes, where winning was not on the agenda. It was not even on the radar. It was about entertaining. So they've gone full circle there. Good too that Stokesy. This is a quote attributed to him. I didn't hear it. I haven't seen the footage or listened to the tape, but it was just attributed to him. I saw on the socials. Quote: "We ain't pushovers like many teams have looked when they've come over here." It's a bold statement, Vaughany. Your reply to that in our WhatsApp group was?
Well, when you lose by 434, you're no pushovers. You've challenged the opposition all the way. I mean, I think it's India's greatest ever Test match victory.
Indeed,
in terms of numbers. Yeah, but the rest of the world go there and get absolutely hammered. You see, and England losing by 434 clearly in this era is not hammering. It's just quite a close kind of game that was taking place.
Only 30 overs.
Look, what I like about Stokes, at least he's telling the world now that this week he's going to win.
Yeah,
he decided this week, the last few weeks, just give India a few Test matches, let them gain a bit of confidence, give some of those young Indian stars that are coming into Test cricket that that want to play Test match cricket. The last thing that you would want as a global game is a few young Indian players coming into Test cricket, having a bad experience, losing a few games, and falling out of love with Test cricket. So you've got to remember the Bazballers, this England side, is all about saving Test cricket, giving the public what they want, and that's exactly what Ben and his team have done over the last few weeks.
It's commendable. Can I ask you, Vaughany, a friend of yours? Well, I was watching some vision of the English side arriving in Dharmashala, and as you mentioned, 12 degrees, reasonably cold. They were all rugged up, wearing winter wear. But a good friend of yours, Paul Collingwood, he was dressed for the Caribbean. Is there something? Has he got problems with his nerve endings? What's going on there?
Is he still on holidays in the Caribbean? Or is he still back working with England?
Yeah, no, he's back throwing a few balls for England. I would guess one of two things. He's a northern lad, and 10 degrees is warm up north, so he gets the shorts out in the summer. Or probably the most obvious thing is he didn't pack any warm kit.
Yeah, right.
I would suggest it's probably the second. It's good to see them all with the beanies. I see that the England side have got a load of beanies this week. They always look cool. I saw them running up the hills of the Himalayas towards that waterfall. It looks absolutely spectacular, Dharmashala. So it's going to be a great week, particularly now Ben's decided that England are going to try and win this week, which is great. There'll be loads of England supporters. I believe the Barmy Army are there en masse. There's a big following out in the hills there in India. Bumrah's back, so I guess India will be a bit weaker this week, so England will have a better chance.
Hey, just one.
Ollie, put that card up.
Vaughany is joking.
I was just thinking, if you're like Junior in the caricature, then you probably do think it is going to be, a series win, because there's probably a few more tests left. Yeah. Junior never knows how many, so I like it. I'm all for it.
Can I, just while we're talking Junior, I'm just jumping around a touch here. Did you catch any of him on the back page last night? A comment that he made about Marnus Labuschange?
No.
So he's concerned about Marnus. We'll just jump to Australia for a second, because he thinks Marnus is taking his cricket too seriously. He's not having any downtime. And he has it on good authority from a good friend of his that Marnus on the day of the Boxing Day test was in a department store in Melbourne with a cricket bat, shadow batting in the middle of a Maya or in the middle of a David Jones. I'm not sure which one it was. Let me read it to you. He was in there with his tracksuit on. He had a backpack on and he had his bat and he was shadow batting in the department store. Do you think Junior's just seen someone that looks like him, or what's happening there?
I think Junior's completely fumbled a story there. Something he's just embellished a little tale that someone might have seen Marnus around that time in the shopping centre, having just visited his bat sponsor and had a whole lot of kit to get back to the hotel.
Right,
and he just stopped off. But Junior might have just taken a bit of poetic license there and decided to run with it. But yeah.
I tell you, last night on the Champions League, it was a beauty. Jamie Carragher's working for the American channel, I think CBS, and he's doing the Bayern Munich game. And pre-match, he talks about how in the week he'd spoken to Harry Kane. Now, he doesn't know that Harry Kane's going to get a double and they get interviewed after the game. So obviously the game takes place. Harry gets a double. He's interviewed after the game. The lady presenter turns to Harry Kane and said, "Oh, I believe that you spoke to Jamie Carragher in the week. He's obviously on the panel." He went, "No, I didn't."
Crunch.
Oh, that's so good.
Broadcasting. So, yeah, so I don't know. Junior might. We'll have to get in touch with the Rolls Royce and find out what that's all about. But there was rumour going around that Marnus was spotted, as you said, in tracksuit and with a big kit bag. But I think he'd just been to see sponsors and get some bats retweaked and re-sticked and so on. But anyway,
but Gilly, let's be honest. If there was a player of this era, of many eras actually, that you would fancy to be walking through Myers with his kit and a bat and sees a mirror and starts to shadow, you would put Marnus at the top of that list. I reckon that's I'm surprised that he didn't throw a ball or two to one of the two of the workers in Myers and say, can you just give me a couple of
outside off, thanks.
Against the mirror. Just against the mirror.
Yeah, I don't reckon Mr. Cricket Mike Hussey got past too many Christmas trees around the festive season that had the little Christmas bauble hanging down without playing a forward defence to it. I think most of the time that caught his attention. But no, Junior setting up. Hey, Vaughany. Oh, what do you got? What do you got there?
I was just thinking about bats, and I got given this the other day. It's an absolute beauty. Look, they've put a few hangers on there for me. And look,
that's good.
it's an old Gun and Moore.
Oh, wow.
This is one from I don't know what year this is. This is called the Outram Seven Oaks, the Cannon. I mean, look at that for a beauty with a few hangers on there. Put it on the wall. Put a few of the Club Prairie Fire club hats on. There you go.
That hasn't got right down in my cellar. Actually, that'd come up very nicely.
Look at that for a beauty.
You get sent some stuff, Vaughany.
No, this was a present actually. My friend brought me that. Yeah, it's a nice present. Yeah, I do get. While we're talking about, I've got to. Do you know this podcast we promote companies, don't we?
We do without any catch.
No, I got sent this. I got dropped off from a friend of mine, Graham, who works at the local golf kind of club driving range called Style. And some lads from the local area came to see him about the coffee that they were using. He said, you've got to start using our coffee. And it's instant. And it's called this.
Quokka coffee.
Quokka coffee.
Quokka coffee, yeah. So some local Cheshire lads. Quokka the Rot Nest.
Yeah, I was going to say, for those around the world, which truly global audience don't know, quokkas are the little native sort of marsupial rat-like beast that reside on Rot Nest Island. In fact, they're named after them. It's called Rat Nest originally, but Rot Nest Island. There you go. All the way to Cheshire.
Yeah.
And they did write a letter, but I've no idea where it is. And it did mention you, Gilly, that they're after us to be. They want us to be the ambassadors for the Quokka coffee.
Right. How's it go with tequila?
Well, I don't know. It's instant. It's actually quite nice. I've tried it. So look, I'll just see how it goes. I mean, I'm a bit unsure about how the link of Cheshire local people to Quokkas is going to kind of be the kind of link that everyone wants to drink their coffee to. So we'll see how it goes. So that's the coffee.
Yeah,
the Quokkas aren't, because there's those famous coffee beans where the possums shit them out.
Yeah,
in Papua New Guinea. That's you haven't. Are the Quokkas doing this with the coffee beans?
Check the ingredients
on the back of the pallet. It says on the back, the quokka is said to be the happiest animal on the planet. Treat yourself with our premium Colombian coffee. I'll bring a smile with each sip. Oh, so it's a Colombian coffee. So it's not coming out the quokka's backside. No, this is not. By the way, this is not quokka shit.
It's a shit.
That could be. It's not, because I was going to say that could be the replacement for the goat shit for the trophy.
Yeah, the goat
shit. Not quokka shit.
Series. That's 12 or 13 series ago. I know that. But
Ollie, did you have something for us?
Well, we're just speaking sponsors. NordVPN are back. They bloody loved the last episode. They've come back again. And this is the social update now, brought to you by the lovely people at NordVPN. We know what they do. They with their 5,000 servers around the world, they hide your location, so you can have a little punt if you fancy it. You can watch the European Cricket League. Big update on that later, by the way. Or you can just keep your private time private, which they do very well. And because they love us, they've given us the offer as well, which is a free gift, 4 months free once you sign up, and a 30-day money-back guarantee. That's nordvpn.com/CPF. And their social was the most popular one this week. I think for the first time ever, our socials had over 1 million impressions, which is quite remarkable across all platforms. Couldn't possibly think why. DRS got a fair bit of the attention because it had the NordVPN logo on it, and we gave the odds. DRS first, then Australia winning the World Cup. And someone basically is coming at you, Vaughany, saying you are the king of the commentator curse. He is an Australian who stood out, Varun Kale, who says, how wrong is Vaughany with his predictions? This one hurt. I prefer it when he picks England or India. So he doesn't want you to
stay away from our Aussies.
Any return for that?
Well, Australia, as I said last week, they're going to win the T20 World Cup. I'll go as far as to say it's going to be quite convincing. and India won't be lifting another ICC trophy. It's been 2013 they won the Champions Trophy. I think that was in England. If you just look that up, Ollie, I think that's the last time they lifted an ICC trophy. ITC, by the way, is a travel. ITC that I just said is a travel company. They might win that.
Yeah, you were
So
right.
Just before you move off that, there's more socials to come, no doubt. But you mentioned Vaughany predicting Australia win. I want to fancy getting yourself into a public spat with the designer of Hawkeye.
Yeah,
Paul
Yeah.
Hawkins, nonetheless, is
well.
just basically trying to shame you in public. And
Yeah, he
claim.
tried. Well,
Yeah.
I didn't quite understand his journalistic angle when all I've asked for is for the footage to be shown of how they come to those decisions. I don't know what journalism is involved in putting a camera in a truck and just showing us how the operation works. Maybe I've hit a nerve. I don't know, but I just like the public, and I think the viewers at home are actually now getting frustrated with some of the decisions. Now, I'm not questioning technology at all. I'm far away from that kind of brightness. But I do think that the public now need to know and see exactly how they come to those decisions, which is absolutely fine. Their technology has worked for many, many years. I'm not doubting it. But why not show us exactly how they come to those decisions? Why wouldn't you want to? Why wouldn't you want to? That's my question. Why wouldn't you? And by the way, if it's not the broadcasters that are going to put a camera in there, why wouldn't you, as your company, Hawkeye, put a camera in there and put it out on social media? So when we meet you, and I will be doing it this week as well, if there's an iffy one, just prove to us that it's absolutely fair and fine. It's not a problem.
Was there any response from Hawkeye?
Nah. Hawko, is that what you call him? Hawko?
Yeah,
Very
Paul
Aussie.
Hawkins. Hawko runs Hawkeye.
Yeah. No, I'll see how Hawko goes, because this clip will probably go on socials and he'll come back with something. But it's not journalistic at all. I'm not questioning. I think the technology has been good. I like technology, but I just don't understand why you as a company wouldn't want people to see your operation in action when people like me are challenging it. That's all.
Well, if you are the third umpire this week and you do listen to this show, maybe you could just log us in on Instagram Live. Just get your phone and just do a selfie the whole time and then just tell us where we can log in. Do we know who the third umpire is, guys? Do we?
We don't.
No.
It's okay.
No.
Sorry, I'll keep going.
No, there was just one more on the NordVPN social update. We started a trend accidentally. The quote was Zach Crawley is the best test player ever to average 31. People are now just going up. So they're going, the best ever to get 32 is Joss Butler. The best ever for 33 is Shubman Gill. So we've accidentally started a trend going through the numbers. And looking forward to seeing who else is thrown out there for 34 and onwards. But that was enjoyable to read through.
Yeah, that is interesting. Just on that topic, I was looking at a couple of milestones coming up, a few of the players around, a few hundredth test matches being played in the next few days. But Tim Southey, fourth most test runs ever without a century. Okay. At 2,072. Who scored the most? Little quick mini quiz.
The king.
NordVPN.
The King, Shane Warne. The legendary late great Shane Warne.
Correct.
Yeah. Caught mid-wicket off Dan Vittoria, if I'm correct, on 99.
No ball.
Was that
no ball.
Well, it was. And, that's when we did need technology.
Yes.
Hawkeye would have saved the King.
Hawkeye was at home throwing stuff at the TV. Anyway, that's a mini quiz thanks to NordVPN. And what was it, Ollie? What's the offer? NordVPN/CPF.
Exactly. NordVPN.com/CPF. That's us.
Yeah.
Sign up.
Yeah, go on.
Very good. Thank you. Oh, that's fantastic. Now we are jumping around a bit today. I do think we need to finish on the England versus India test. I think we're best just to name a couple of Indian cricketers just to get our clicks up. Mohammad Siraj is likely to be rested. Just clip this up, Ol. And Akash Deep, they think, will take the new ball with Jasprit Bumrah.
Yeah.
Any thoughts, guys? What does that mean for the English team? Is Joe Root shaking in his boots here with Bumrah back in the side?
Look, it means Crawley will get a majestic 31 and get his off pole knocked out. I'd like to, as I mentioned, a few hundredths. Johnny Bairstow, 100 Test matches.
Yeah, go on, Johnny.
Yep.
Go on, Johnny.
Congratulations. Outstanding. We're going 12 tons, averages 36. What do you reckon his strike rate is? Because he's been at the heartbeat of Bazball, hasn't he?
Just on your little game earlier, Ollie, just now, I think Johnny Bairstow is probably the best ever Test player to average 36.
Yeah.
He's up there with the best at 36. That'd be a good debate. 36 category. I reckon Johnny Bairstow's in there.
Yeah.
Who's it? So we've just missed 35, haven't we? Right in.
Yeah, we did.
We'll ask the audience to write in.
The other one is yes, I'll go.
Sorry, there is one that everyone wants to know about because they were upset he was missed. It might be a relative. It was thoughts on Jarrell, player of the match, someone at the other end of his career, not 100, just a couple.
Yes.
A couple of people on YouTube said you didn't speak about the man of the match, and someone commented they don't talk about cricket. That's the fun. Was the reply from another viewer? But what about Jarrell?
I think that was Vaughany that wrote that back, wasn't it? Was that you, Vaughany?
Yeah. No, he played well. He played nicely.
Clip that up.
Very nice. Well, while we're on the topic of the Indians, I think Ashwin.
Magnificent.
100th Test match.
Oh, very good.
507 wickets. So he's ninth on the all-time wicket takers. 35 times 5. 8 times 10 for. So average is 23. I throw this to you, Vaughany, under the guise of let's get the clicks rolling. Are you taking Ashwin or Lyon?
Ashwin.
All right, move on. That's good. That's all we needed. That's enough.
Is that just because you're saying it to piss me and Gilly off, or is there a reason?
I think he obviously offers a bit more with the bat, even though Nathan got his. Was he the top scorer? Was he in the second innings that I saw?
Yeah,
Wellington. But it's a close. It'd be a little bit of a toss up, but I would say I said it a few weeks ago. Nathan Lyon in Australia, I would pick Nathan Lyon. On the Aussie wickets, I would have Ashwin pretty much everywhere else. The magician, the professor. The magician. But it's a close call. I wouldn't be too bothered if Ashwin pulled a little hammy one morning and Nathan had to play. It's not a problem.
Oh, that's
very kind of the breakdown. It's good. Just in all seriousness. So I had a little look, a deep dive into the stats, and there's always that discussion, isn't there, between in playing in Asia and subcontinental conditions as opposed to elsewhere. So Nathan Lyon in Asia, 28 tests, 140 poles at 30. Non-Asia, 100 tests, 387 poles at 30. So overall, 128 tests for 527 wickets at 30. Ashwin, non-Asia, 31 wickets, 31 tests, 103 poles at 33. So not quite the sort of strike rate or the average there. In Asia, 68 tests, 404 wickets. So he's near enough to 6.5, nearly 7 poles a test match at 21. That is a strike rate 46. Jesus, that is frightening. Doesn't matter what you say about the pitches and the conditions and so on. That is absolutely mind-blowing.
Yeah, but it took him 4 test matches against the Bazballers to get a fifer.
Yeah, that might mark him down a little bit, mightn't it?
Yeah.
He's only played a few games against the Bazballers, and they had him. They did had him until that last innings where he suddenly produced a bit of match, and he got the new ball. I think the new ball's quite important for Ashwin in India. I think he's a handful with that new red ball. But it did take him quite a few innings to get a fifer against the Bazballers.
Now, I might use that as a little segue, if we can, to move across to the other big test series. Australia taking on New Zealand. Obviously, we got it done by 172 runs in that first test. I wanted to ask you guys, obviously the Australians this week, they go into the second test, and it's at Christchurch, which is the birthplace of the Bazballs.
Yeah.
Bazball arenas. What do you call them? The place where they played Bazball first. Do you think the Aussies are thinking that as they go to play in Christchurch? Is it on their mind?
No.
No.
You would think so. You would think so. I would think they'll probably have some kind of ceremony on the pitch. All sit around in a nice circle and just hum Bazball.
I'm not sure the Aussie team can do
Wearing
it.
loincloths.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. Oh, you don't think they can sit around in a circle and hum Bazball? I think
No,
they can.
the Australian side, like they just don't have the same aggression. A lot of hype, around Cam Green, great not being an aggressive batsman. His 174 took 275 balls. You would never see that in an
too
England
slow.
side. So it's a bit slow. It was
No,
fine. It
too
was an
slow.
okay knock, but it was slow. Yeah.
Don't know what. Did you watch the last test with Ben Stokes? He was like one run off 700 balls. So I think there is someone that can do it. What about? Let's chat quickly about that little 10th wicket partnership. Josh Hazlewood, 22 off 62 for a full session. If you were captaining against that, guys, would that have been beautiful to watch out there?
I think the only more challenging one from a New Zealand point of view in the history of cricket was when Glenn McGrath and Jason Gillespie put on about 100 up at the Gabba, and McGrath actually got a 50. Dizzy Gillespie got a 50 and rode his bat around like the bloke out of Happy Gilmore, that little cowboy midget guy. So that was tough for Stephen Fleming as captain to take. But yeah, that would have been nasty down there at windy Wellington the other day, because New Zealand were in the game at different points there, weren't they? They were in positions at times which Australia have probably found themselves challenged a little bit more than they would have hoped against Pakistan and the West Indies throughout the summer here, and then again in New Zealand. They end up winning pretty convincingly, but there are some little hurdles that they've had to get over to dig deep. But I guess that's the good news for the Australians. Even though they're not playing their best cricket all round, they're still getting the job done generally, other than that one game up at the Gabba.
I'll be honest with you, lads. The test match came over the weekend, starting at 9:30 at night. That usually is my peak time for my fifth pint. And it went through the night, and I didn't really see a lot of it. I did obviously caught up and read a few things and saw a few clips. Cameron Green getting a big 100 at 4, that's a big move for the Aussies.
Yeah.
That is, as much as Marnus has struggled, Steve Smith at the top of the order, for the big albatross to get a big ton and see his team through that first innings to a very decent total, that is a big move for the Aussies.
Yep.
He's obviously found his rhythm and play, and nice, because he didn't quite look right against the West Indies at 4. He was a little bit jabby. Now he's got that big 100 only at the third test match, fourth test match of batting at number 4. To do that so early in that position, that's a big move for the Aussies. Big move. Absolutely.
Now, obviously on this show, we've spoken about the main problem with Kiwi cricket, which is that they're just too damn nice. Everybody likes them. Gilly, you spoke of them meeting you at the airport and how they were polite to you.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. There's a little something happening, a little something brewing over there, which I like the sound of. It sounds far more like the Pakistani team. Ross Taylor has gone on ESPN's Around the Wicket, and he is saying that Neil Wagner was pushed, that he wasn't allowed to retire at the time that he wanted. Let me read it to you. I think it all makes sense a little bit now. There's no sugarcoating it. I think it was a forced retirement. If you listen to Wagner's press conference, he was retiring, but it was after his last test match. So he did make himself available.
And fielded during the test match.
Yeah, interesting.
Which is odd thing to do, is go and field once you're retired. That's probably generally what you're trying to get away from, isn't it?
That's the worst part of it.
And it wasn't just that, was it? There was more in that test. He flipped the bird to Southey. Yeah, exactly. He gave Southey the bird and used his finger to say shush upstairs, did old Wagner.
Yes. Yeah, well, that was against South Africa. There was a bit of tension around the South African test as well between Southey and Wagner. So they're saying all's not well in the camp. Wagner asked to leave. But, of course, Kane Williamson's come out and said, no, don't be silly. They were just playing around. I mean, I think this is really great for New Zealand cricket. I think.
Well,
Did the headline say Williamson plays straight bat to inquiry?
Pretty much. Yeah.
But it actually proves that New Zealanders are human beings.
Really?
Because these kind of scenarios happen in every other team around the world, but I don't recollect a fallout with any player. Yeah. I think there was a bit of a fallout. Ross Taylor when he was captain a few years ago, maybe there was something there, and Baz McCullum I think took over. There was some kind of semi fallout, but you don't get much in the Kiwi camp where they have like public spats or public fallouts. They're a very kind of tight knit cricket team. You could say they're quite fucking boring, but
you leave that to others to say. Talking of camps and a little bit of volatility within a camp, just want to take you to one of your cricketing favourite countries, Vaughany, the personalities and the quality of people involved, Pakistan. Yeah. So I'm not sure whether you saw Pakistan's chairman was sitting back watching a bit of the PSL, the Pakistan Super League, and he noted something. And I'll quote, as he spoke to his Pakistan squad national players, "When I see the sixes getting hit into the grandstands, I notice not one of you hits sixes into the stands. When that happens, it's typically a foreign player." So on the back of that, our chairman, Mohsen Naqvi, I'm not sure if I've pronounced that correctly, but he's decided after the Pakistan Super League, he's going to take the national squad to train with the Pakistan Army for 2 weeks. Yeah. To get their fitness up to speed is the quote from the chair. Now that 2 weeks, that coincides with Ramadan or Ramzan, if you want to pronounce it.
Oh, wow.
Which was also 2 weeks that the players had off in a packed schedule. So talk about issues within the camp. That's going to be a contentious little period of time for those boys, getting their fitness up to speed so they can launch rockets into the stands, not just over the rope.
I wonder how
believer in Kevin Peterson's theory, isn't it? But a 100-metre six is a 12.
I wonder how the Army are going to how they're going to train them up bat speed. I wonder what they're going to do in their training kind of philosophy to get the bat speed and the timing for these players to be able to hit it into the grandstand. It'd be interesting to see. Look, we talk about cameras in the truck. They're the kind of cameras that we need. I think there needs to be a Netflix, Amazon star behind the scenes document. If there was a sporting team that I wanted a camera on over the course of it, you get a whole 8-episode series in a month with the Pakistan team. You wouldn't have to follow them that long. I think we should cry out for that. Netflix, Amazon. And I know they will be listening to this show, the bosses of those two quite powerful businesses. Yeah. You've got to follow Pakistan cricket. I think it'd be a great, great watch.
And, is it true too that Pakistan Army use Hawkeye technology in their ballistics and their rifle range stuff? So we might be able to bring in Hawkeye over there as well as a bit of throw him in the mix as like an intruder on Big Brother. Or something like
that. Do you think I think Hawko should come on this podcast. I think we should get Hawko on here.
Where is Hawko from? Is he English?
English.
Yeah, he's English. He's been on a podcast since the said dismissal that was contentious that drew Vaughany's ire.
I think he's still on that podcast. He's been talking about it ever since.
He's still going.
Still going.
We'll get Husey on as well.
Did you have something for us? You popped your little hand up there.
Vaughany was throwing out Netflix, Amazon. I think it's us. I think it's our duty to go over and document. Do a couple of shows from the Army. Like Mohammed Hafiz, good dear mate of the show, and Vaughany wanted to come on. That's been in the news. This was yesterday in the Hindustan Times. Inzman ul Haq having an absolute go at the PCB for sacking Mohammed Hafiz. So I think we could go over there and do some really good reporting and make it our own sort of thing. Leave Amazon, Netflix behind, trying to buy it off us.
Is it on the way to Malaga? I think we could go that way. I think
that would be.
It might be a detour for Vaughany. How is that looking, by the way? Have you got an update on our little trip?
Get the Cluj update, did we?
I have a whole ECL update actually. So
Let's do it.
As you will recall, they were in touch about Malaga, which is now next weekend. I'm speaking to the main man Vinny there. It's looking unlikely, given it's 9 days away, that we will make it for Cluj, but I'm not ruling it out. They've got a beautiful little studio on the boundary ropes. We're just working out semantics. We will be there. Cluj start their competition next week. They will obviously go through, and they might play, as you mentioned it, Vaughany Church. They're second in their group, lost to Wimbledon in their group, but they have still qualified. So that's good. And Cluj play Oslo on the 15th 15th of March. So the weekend will go. But if we do miss this tournament, there's better news. And Vaughany, I think you're heading there soon, potentially. They only have a day off between tournaments in European cricket. Then there's the let me get this right. It's the ECS in Portugal for 2 weeks. The day after this competition ends in Malaga, that's on. And it's just purely a domestic cricket team, only from Portugal. And I've selected the Gamblers Sporting Club as the people who we should be supporting, who open up the competition at the end of March, early April. So it's a great comp that we can travel the world.
Just yeah, I mean it's travelling this, the Cluj and the Hornet. Obviously, we're all now followed by Cluj, which is a great honour. I don't, our logo's on. I think it's like a hoodie or a tracksuit top.
Yep.
Which I don't know if you're getting one down under, lads, but there's one on the way to my house.
Of course, there is.
Bloody hell. I will be having the trackie. But someone did send me a message. Said, "Hi, Mike. Hope you're keeping well. Just listening to your podcast. Hornchurch is in Essex near Upminster and Romford, but nowadays it's classed as East London. And there was a fella from Hornchurch that was messaging, and I think we were trying to get him on the pod, but I think he's obviously Hornchurch in somewhere in Malaga. But it's good to see that they've had a good start. 3 from 4. They're going through. They're the team that but even though obviously we're massive associates of the Cluj team, and I hope they win the event purely because they've got the logo. I just fancy this Hornchurch team. I think they've got a good team.
Couldn't agree more.
Very good. And that ECL update was brought to you by
Cluj, Romania.
No. Okay, that's fantastic. Cluj, Romania. Fantastic. That's a perfect spot for a sponsor right there, though. I think we all agree. Hey, I believe that Vaughany's he's got to get on the school run soon, so it's time to get into the trivia.
It is, yeah. And it's a late-minute change because we had a special guest who I won't say who it is because hopefully they'll be back on next week, all written up.
Yeah.
So while doing this, you probably realise I didn't talk for the first 15 minutes. I was drawing up another Who Am I? So here we go. It's someone's birthday. It's actually their birthday tomorrow, but that's when this will go out. So their birthday's the 7th of March.
Right,
okay? So first clue is I am 39 years old today. So all you're getting. For 5 points.
39. 39 years. Today?
Yeah.
Yeah. No idea.
Perfect.
39.
We're going to move on to 4 points, which is question number 2. I have played for the Melbourne Stars and I hit the 3rd ever Big Bash century.
Luke Wright.
Oh my, Vaughany, we're back-to-back 4 points.
That's very good.
There was
some doff the cap to that.
How did you know that one, Vaughany? Were you commentating that game?
No, I just I knew Luke Wright was doing something the other day, and I saw that he was coming up to a birthday. And I knew he played for the Stars, and he hit 100. He hit a few hundred, I think, for the Stars.
Wow! Yeah, well,
them around.
Very good.
The other clues, because I thought we'd get further, for 3 points was I won the Compton Medal 4 times for my county, which is Sussex, the most promising young player. I have 50 ODI appearances for my country, and I'm now a selector. And then for 1 point, it was I won the 2010 T20 World Cup. So there you go.
Just on selection, I've just seen that Ollie Robinson. He survived 1 game back. He's gone.
Yeah. See, there was
Ollie.
a nasty fantail rapper going around about him, but I'm not sure if that's in production or not. But hey, just that's tough for Ollie Robinson. I've got a question for our Ollie. And Prof, come in on this at any point in time.
Mhm,
So these
mhm.
little supposedly rushed who am I's. Last week was Tim Bresnan, who played alongside, I think, you, Vaughany. This week's Luke Wright, who another Englishman who Vaughany was obviously in touch with recently, or certainly had a passing crossover.
Yeah.
Are we worried about the legitimacy and the balance of this? What's going on?
Oh,
What it
question the
sounds like to
integrity.
me, is that Ollie only follows a certain type of cricketer on social media, and
Okay.
he's
Wow. I'm going
not
to
following
dispel
the
this.
Aussies at all. You're just following the Englishmen. Is that right?
No, not at all. I'm on cricketersbirthdays.com is where I use my source. Thank you very much. Hilton
Not
Cartwright started
UK.
us. The other options were Kaya Zondo, Lebwambo Sutsobi, Marina Iqbal, Darcy Brown, Miten Shah, Shweta Mane, Shivan Malhotra. I could go on. It was the one name
Is
I
that all
knew
one
quite
name?
well.
No.
No, there are a few names. So I thought that was the
Okay.
most
Well, no,
famous.
fair enough. Fair enough. But yes, we will be looking into it, Gilchrist. Gilly.
Yeah,
I think the
yeah,
fix is
yeah.
in. I think the fix is in.
It is
All right.
indeed.
Well, time for the toast, Gilly. Who would you
Right,
like to
yeah, the
toast today?
toast. Yeah, and we won't reveal who the guest was. It's a name. It's a shame technology intervened to not allow it, because it's a name that has been called for a number of times on social media. I've noticed in the comments about requests. So stick with us till next week. We will endeavour to have that person on. I am going to toast the 4 Centurions: R. Ashwin, Johnny Bairstow, Kane Williamson, and Tim Southey. 100 Test matches for their country. Well, that's what provided they get on the park and not too much infighting carries on in the New Zealand camp, and Neil Wagner doesn't start cutting up rough and a few injuries come up. But to those Centurions, here's to you and your health. Cheers.
The
Cheers.
Centurions. Very good. All right, folks. That was Club Prairie Fire. You can get us everywhere. Insta, X. You can get us on YouTube. You can get us beautiful forward defense.
Straight back.
You can get us. Yes, make sure you follow us at Club Prairie Fire on everything. The show is growing every week at a very quick rate. Please
Is
keep
it?
telling everybody. It is, yeah.
Yeah.
You say with such surprise, Gilly.
Good luck tonight, Ollie.
Thanks very much.
Play well, Ollie. Nice
Thanks,
and
guys.
straight. Let's
Means the
hope
world.
that Gilly's not talking about size next week. We don't want that talked about on the pod.
Adios.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. If you liked the video, well, first of all, thanks for watching. But if you liked it, give us a like or hit the button below to subscribe. That'd be great.